Charlie Kirk was a pawn, folks. So hard to say this, but I got to be the one to say it because I don't see anybody saying it. Charlie Kirk was used for the sole purpose of getting somebody elected to become president of the United States of America. And when it didn't work, went back at it again. And without that man, Charlie Kirk, Donald Trump is not in office. And Junior became such great friends with him. Why do you think he became such great friends with him? What are the Trumps famous for? Befriending people that can help them get to their end game, which is power, money, influence. Charlie was the perfect guy to get over the hump, to get them over the hump again. And he did. Now I have no use for you. Wait, what? You're against the war in Iran? You're changing your position on Israel? You're questioning Mossad? You're questioning the Epstein files? You want the most thorough investigations in all of it? Mr. Trump, don't go to war with Iran. This is the worst possible thing you can do. The dude has turned into a prophet. Everything he said has come true. I'm talking about Charlie Kirk. They knew this. They knew he was right. He became too loud, too powerful, too influential, too much resonating. He was resonating too much with people. He was changing minds. He was waking people up. That's why you see this swelling. I got the chills right now. I literally have the goosebumps all over my body because this drives me crazy because I've been used and I've been betrayed. I have my life, but I've been betrayed that people used me for money that I paid them as an employee, or when I brought them up the ranks and paid them, sums of money over 100,000, nothing anywhere close to what they had ever done, gave them opportunity, and they bolted and left me hanging out to dry. Multiple people. They left this guy hanging out to dry because he didn't agree with where it was going. And he spoke out about it. Who is the greatest threat to the left and to the right and to multiple countries greater than Charlie Kirk? There isn't any. In all due respect to Candace Owens, it's not her. It's not Joe Rogan. It's not Patrick Bet-David. It's not anybody else with a big profile. He was on the ground. He was changing minds with the most important voter that you could possibly have, which is the young voter. Because you have years of election cycles for those people to live through and vote. You need that person on your team. You need that person believing in what it is you're selling. Good, bad, or indifferent. Charlie didn't agree with what Trump became, and he knew it. Who has more motive to remove Charlie Kirk from this earth than the left and the right? This whole notion about the left wanted him gone, it's baloney. It doesn't matter if it was a Republican or a Democrat in 28, like if Charlie didn't run, which, again, I talked about that yesterday, and it's one of the tells in my series, he was a shoo-in to be a president. He couldn't be president. You see the revolt when Trump came into office? Can you imagine the revolt if Charlie Kirk started to run for office? Are you kidding me? He's a direct threat. And I mean that in a good way. Like, that's the proper way to go about it, to bring some legitimacy, to bring some honesty to office. It just doesn't exist. And Trump sold us everything. It's all about you guys. I'm for you, the people. I am one of you. I'm an outsider. I'm not a politician. He became everything he said he wouldn't. And I voted for him 3 times. I cannot believe what I've witnessed in the past 10, 11 years. That's why I'm doing this. And Charlie was the end straw for me. I remember when I was doing the sports show with Jason Whitlock, I said, man, I think I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to start another page. This is in October of last year, almost a year ago, right after Charlie. And it stung me. It struck me. It shook me. I was in tears that night. You can see the video. Scan the QR code. It's up there. Raw emotions that night, 9:30 or so Eastern Standard Time, the day of Charlie Kirk being killed / assassinated. Guys, this has nothing to do with right. And then Blake Neff comes out and says what he says, and MAGA this and MAGA movement, it's dead. MAGA is dead. There's still some there that believe and that will never stop believing, but it's gone. It's not what it once was. People have just bailed. I'm one of them. I want nothing to do with that. I want nothing to do with right or left. I want to do with what is good for us people, and it's just a system and a machine that's hard to break. Tucker Carlson is one guy that can do that. You can say whatever you want about Tucker Carlson, but he has the platform, he has the following, he has the concepts and ideas, and I don't agree with all his either, by the way. And I think that is very specifically why he's not speaking out about Charlie Kirk. If you think that Tucker Carlson does not think that there are very suspicious things that have gone on, I think it's mistaken. It's short-sighted. He's broadcast on a show that talk about it, but he's very resistant to talk about it himself. And he says, because Charlie was such a great friend and because Erica Kirk is a friend. Listen, Tucker Carlson's nobody's dummy. No one's dummy. He's watched the way she's conducted herself. I think Tucker's a pretty stand-up, straight guy that way. Straight guy meaning that he can call the shot straight down the middle. I don't think he's like super close with her. That's just my opinion. But I think he stayed out of it because he's going to go for that way. So to finish that thought, please, Charlie Kirk's death had nothing to do with either side because neither side wanted him at this point because he threatens both sides. Israel didn't want him. Ukraine didn't want him. He was against everything that is and was or has been going on and that would ultimately continue. He was the voice for the people and saying the only way to save this country was with people. It's not his thought process, and what he was saying is not that, the government or politicians are going to save this country. We all thought Donald Trump was going to save this country. At least I did. I know a lot of people did. I definitely did. Boy, was I wrong. In the end, it was all about him. It's all about his family. It's all about enrichment. It's all about ego. It's all about power. It's all about protecting his friends. It's all about continuing the legacy of the Trump era that he's, 80 years old now, and pass on to his sons. Like, if you don't understand, I learned this just the other day, thanks to at Leah Files on X. Tremendous follow. Really, really good at what she does. Donald Trump Jr. is a board member of Polymarket and Kalshi. Polymarket and Kalshi are prediction markets that allow betting on, who's going to win this race, who's going to win the presidency, all this type of stuff. He's a board member on both. That's McDonald's and Burger King. That's Home Depot and Lowe's. Think of any other two competitors that they're direct competitors. What are these companies thinking? Because they're involved, folks. And they do it right in front of us. Like, I wasn't paying attention, so I didn't know any different. Now that I pay attention, it's like, what? How can you be on the advisory board of the two top companies that are direct competitors of each other? Like, how would you do that? Why would you do that? Because you're on the inside. And you can directly benefit because your father is president. And you have aspirations potentially to run for presidency yourself or hold some kind of office. For crying out loud, your sister-in-law contemplated being a senator. Do you see, folks? Do you see? So any notion that this is left or right having to do with Charlie Kirk's death is BS.